सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respect. I welcome all the devotees, disciples who are sitting with us around the world at this moment in 579 places in 166 cities and 20 countries. I am seeing Ohio, Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Hyderabad. These are the cities I am able to see. Let's enter into today's subject. I'll continue to expand on the same sutra, no mind state. Hope you all did that 3 vratas. Liquid diet, neem juice and meditating on this subject, Nirodha Parinamaha. Sometime your body and mind needs to be prepared to receive the truth. If your body and mind is not prepared, the truth can lead to atheism, nastikya. Please understand. Three persons go to Rishi and ask the truth from the Rishi. Rishi says to the first person, "You are that. This is the truth." That guy thinks, "Oh, if I am that, then come on, let me drink and make merry, enjoy the life." He goes and starts doing whatever he wants. Is Rakshasa. Second guy comes and he asks, "What is the truth?" Rishi says, "You are that." This guy, how can me be the ultimate? I should contemplate and think. He goes and starts contemplating. He is a seeker. Third guy comes. He asks, "What is the truth?" Rishi says, "You are that." Then he sits and analyzes. My body cannot be the ultimate, my mind cannot be the ultimate. Oh, I think the consciousness which I experience as me is the ultimate. He becomes enlightened. Same word can create different effects on different persons. So body and mind needs to be prepared sometime to listen to the higher truths. I have seen. If you are not prepared for initiation, even if you utter the great truths, the initiation does not happen. The click does not happen. The experience of initiation does not happen. Sometimes this mind behaves very foolish way. Experience of samadhi can happen just by listening to the word if your body and mind is prepared. If not, impossible. Let's enter into the sutras. व्युत्थान निरोध संस्कारयो अभिभाव प्रादुर्भावौ निरोध क्षण चित्त अन्वय निरोध परिणामः. You can use this sutra immediately because Patanjali reveals his very experience, the greatest truth. The gap between one thought and the other thought, in that gap, your self, Atman, shines automatically. Please understand, all the Western philosophers and philosophies miss this one important point. That is why Western philosophy is a straight-cut method to depression and never to come back. It's a very important truth or a major difference between the Western philosophies and the Indian spirituality. Western philosophy thinks man is nothing but words, words, words. Whether the truth about the world or lies about the world or the truth about the self or the lies about the self, everything boils down finally to words. Western philosophy is not able to step beyond words because they have never experienced a zone where the words does not exist. That is why so many idiotic intellectual philosophies and philosophers go on talking, preaching, promoting, words are everything. No. That is the reason I am telling you, never ever learn about truth or life from an unenlightened beings. Unfortunately, we Hindus are so broad-minded, we never copyright our words, the truths, so we don't sue for copyright infringement. I am back now. I am going to prove to the world something much more than word exists in the consciousness. Who claim everything is a word, if they are put in silence, they will die in depression. We will do a scientific study. Because this is claim, only people who are going on talking, using words, whose words are accepted by the people, can be in a glory. This should understand. For me to be in my grace, in my space, I neither need to talk nor people need to listen. I can be in my silence, the shining in my eyes and the grace in my muscles will be not only remaining as same, it may increase. And I challenge this who say everything is a word. Come on, let both of us sit. You also be in silence for 21 days. I will be in silence for 21 days. Let's see what happens to both of us. These fellows will die in depression. If they can't talk, they will die in depression. In Western world, two kind of theology evolved. One, everything in the life is money. Money can do anything. Look at the whole life in the angle of money. That's materialistic. And there's another one group evolved. Everything is word, knowledge. You can do anything with knowledge. Nothing else exists other than knowledge. These materialistic people make Saraswati out of Lakshmi. These philosophy people make Lakshmi out of Saraswati. We make Lakshmi and Saraswati out of Durga. My knowledge and my wealth, both I create out of Durga, consciousness. They do not know the third dimension. You see, if you do not know the third dimension, have the politeness to say, I do not know the ultimate truth, I know this much, this can help you, please have it. Then I will also keep quiet. Okay, they naturally prepare people for the next step to come to me. I sent to go and prepare the ground, plow the land so that I can come and sow the seed. And these fellows, when they plow the land itself, they say, don't take the seed. These guys, each word is everything. I challenge them. Come. We both will sit in silence for 21 days. You don't use words, I will not use words. Let's see what happens to you and what happens to me. And I challenge. If you can take me one step deeper than the space I exist, I will become your disciple. If I can take you one step deeper than where you exist, come and follow me. But the problem is, these Western philosophers do not retain the purity of seeking. Almost become philosophers. They are not seekers. If any single seeker exists, I challenge, come on, let us sit face to face. You try to convince me of your theology, I will try to convince you of my experience. Whoever takes the other person deeper, we will follow the other. Over. But these are not seekers. They use their animalistic power. And naturally, a person who is in depression will be angry, violent. So is violence, their violence and anger. And their aggression wins in the outer world. Just because the one in the outer world, they should not think the theology and philosophy which they believed and promoted is right. No. They also know the emptiness of the theology and philosophy which they believed and promoted. Somebody has put a question from some satsang center. Is there any difference between Hinduism and spirituality? Now I am making it very clear. Not only there is no difference between Hinduism and spirituality, whatever you think as unnecessary aspect added in Hinduism, like taking bath in Ganges, wearing fresh clothes, not doing anything in particular times, whatever you call a superstition, whatever the Western philosopher calls a superstition, whatever the Christianized Hindu missionaries like a Ramakrishna mission and Chinmaya mission calls a superstition in Hinduism, I tell you that is spirituality. Our deity worship, taking bath in Ganges and wearing these fresh clothes, wearing the forehead marks, wearing these energy beads, these small things which these Christian missionaries and Christianized Hindu missionaries abuse, I tell you that is spirituality. Followers of Ramakrishna do not wear Rudraksha. Go and see. In any of these biggest Hindu missionary organizations, they do not wear Rudraksha. Ramakrishna himself, when he was practicing any practice, not only will put on the dress, he will do all that forehead marks and everything systematically. I tell you, straight reply for this question. Is there any difference between Hinduism and spirituality? There is no difference between Hinduism and spirituality. In Hinduism, are inserted by the Western philosophies only those things need to be removed from Hinduism. Other than that, everything in Hinduism is spirituality. Who are stuck with words, who have not experienced the honest wordlessness, go on promoting in words everything ends. It seems in their classes they teach, even if you talk about the wordless experience, they say no, who experience, who is saying, tell that. It is the reverse process of what Ramana Maharshi is teaching. These are trying to cheat people. In Tamil there is a proverb. You go and sell the needle in the street where the goldsmith and smith, all the blacksmith, all the fellows are making needles. If you go and try to sell a needle in the street where those needles are produced, who will buy? I am telling all these. See, if you are interested in making money, which you are interested, we know, okay, great. Talk something like a leadership, this, that, and make money and be happy. We are not bothered about it. But don't say Indian spirituality is useless. Don't try to tell the Hindu gurus and Indian spirituality is baseless. I want all of you to know, exactly Patanjali is addressing this point. All these Western philosophers and theologians talk beyond word, nothing else. That is why they go on working on creating right word and telling that right word to others and impressing and influencing others with that right words. I tell you, no, beyond words, something solid exists. That is what I call spiritual enlightenment and experience. Patanjali very clearly declares this truth, Nirodha Parinamaha. Understand? You are not just a train of thoughts. No. You are a sky where cloud of thoughts comes and goes once in a while. If you are just chain of thoughts or train of thoughts, then your whole life is depression, nothing else. Then come on, sit and try to tell the same word for 1,000 times. Let us see whether it becomes true or not. Come on, sit and talk. I am the God, I am God, I am God, I am God. Go on, be telling that. Tell everybody, tell yourself. Nothing else will happen. You may use some words to kill negative words. That is okay. If you have an idea, I am body, I am body, I am body, then use the word I am Atman, I am Atman, I am Atman to destroy that words. That's it. But this sometime became illegally grateful. This is the right word I want to use. Illegally grateful to some techniques which helped them. Do not be grateful to something beyond certain limit. Understand? It's like there were 4 fools in a village. They went to a guru and asked for blessing. Guru said, be grateful for everything. They decided to follow it, and all 4 of them used a boat to cross a river. After crossing the river, all 4 of them decided we should be grateful to this boat which helped us to cross this river. We should not leave this boat like this orphan here and go away. And all 4 of them have started carrying that boat on their head and going around. And people asked, what are you doing? No, we are being grateful for the boat which helped us to cross the river. Same way, sometimes in the name of philosophy and philosophers, see, the word will sometimes be helpful for you to remove the bad word. Okay. It's like one tan is being used to remove the other tan. But after that, don't build a temple for this tan. Throw both in a dustbin where it does not hurt others. That's it. Just because this tan has helped you to remove the other tan, oh, this tan must be the greatest in the planet Earth, which helped me to come out of suffering, make a golden covering for it, and golden temple for it. All Western philosophies are Tani temples. Understand? You are a being beyond words. You are not train of words. You are a sky where the cloud of words passes through. I tell you, this is a basic scale. I have a question here from Satsang Center. Who is an avatar? I am giving answer to this important question. Person who can radiate grace and joy and ecstasy and experience without words is an avatar. Learn only from a person who can radiate grace without using words, whose silence is an intense energy experience. Don't learn from people whose silence are depressive. It is dangerous. It means that fellow is only a train of thoughts. No. Learn only from the people who experience their sky, and the thoughts and words they are using is just a cloud which comes and goes. I have two messages for this landmark forum fellows and all other Western theology and philosophers who come to India to teach, convert and make money. See, we believe in religious freedom from time immemorial. You have all the right to say what you are saying is right. But you have no right to say what others are saying is wrong. Me as self-declared representative of Hindu Vedic tradition, please understand, in Hindu Vedic tradition, we don't have bishops to elect Pope. We declare suddenly one fine morning we are Jagat Gurus. We are very clear about it. So self-styled, self-declared representative of Hindu Vedic tradition, I am warning you guys, you have all the right to say what you are talking is truth. We have no problem. We are okay with it. That is the greatness of us. You put a big stage, have a bigger mic, shout, scream, jump, dance, say that what you are saying is right. Once in a while even we will come and see you. We don't have a problem. But don't talk. The Hindu spirituality and Indian gurus are wrong. And I have an audacity to tell, India is putting people in the pedestal and worshipping. It's a wrong thing. What we do and how we live is our life. That is the reason we are still alive 10,000 years. Are not capable of delivering something to human beings and making them eternally grateful. So, what to do? Naturally, nobody will respect them. Because they are not respected, how to come out of the depression? Abuse all the people who are being respected? Disrespect the very signs of the Guru-disciple Sampradaya? Stealing our knowledge, rebranding it, selling it to us. Even these things we can tolerate. Abusing us. These fellows have an audacity to tell Indians should not worship their gurus. I'll create a new culture. reviving the Vedic tradition. We need to understand the major difference between the Vedic tradition and the Western philosophies. You are not train of thoughts. You are sky where the cloud of thoughts comes and goes once in a while. So the gap between the every cloud, the pure sky is seen. Who are completely clouded, never experience the pure sky, start saying there is no such thing as sky. Give me a break. No, I really tell all these fellows who think, you see, if you just teach the world and cheat others that there is no sky, it's all words, okay, you are making money, it's okay. But if you believe that there is no sky, only cloud, I tell you, I sincerely, honestly invite you, come and be with me. Just 21 days, you be in silence, I will be in silence. I'll show you something beyond words exists in your life. Fortunately, I am here alive, sitting in the planet Earth. Don't waste this opportunity. Jung missed Ramana Maharshi. Hundreds of Western philosophers missed the Eastern rishis. The ultimate truth is the gap between the thoughts is a space where your self shines. Please understand. This whole Nirodha Parinama means where the Nirodha happens, your self shines. Please understand. Today I wanted to give you one more exercise. Whole day contemplate about the gap between the thoughts. Is there really a gap between the thoughts in me? Tomorrow, I will give you the experience of gap between thoughts. In India, from time immemorial, we had all these great discussions. We had all these great experience sharing. I can show what Shankara showed to Mandana Mishra. I can show the same thing. But unfortunately, in modern day, the seeking of the truth is mixed with politics. Whether Mandana Mishra comes or not is different. I invite at least Mandana Mishra's disciples who are seeking. Come and taste the truth. It's available beyond the words. I don't even feel bad for the people who get converted from Hinduism to other religion for the sake of food, bread and butter. Unfortunately, we are not able to provide, at least somebody else is providing, it's okay, all right, let them have food, bread and butter, okay. But I feel really sympathetic who get ideologically converted to Western philosophy, which is born, brought up, lives and dies in depression. Leaving this great life bliss Vedic tradition. If you start believing thoughts are everything, what will happen to you? You will just disappear into depression. Consciousness is beyond thoughts, and thoughts are only clouds. See, in the sky, thoughts are like clouds. Emotions are like a Raman effect, the blue layer. Stars are like few clicks and the Satori experiences which you have in your life. And beyond that, the undescribable is you. Same way in the inner space. The clouds are thoughts, the emotions are Raman effect, and the stars are few spiritual experiences you have once in a while, or the great clicks happens in Master's presence. And beyond stars, what is you. Unfortunately, stuck with clouds. If you are a child and see all kinds of forms and shapes in the cloud, okay, it is a good game, time pass. But if you start doing this for whole life, you are mentally retarded. Don't live and die just with clouds. If you are doing it for money, okay, good business. If you are stuck there in your seeking, I honestly invite you, come. I am here honestly telling you, I will not make name or publicity out of you. Come and take the truth secretly and go. I will not tell in my stages, this guru attended my program, that guru attended my program. No. It seems many of the Hindu gurus have attended their program. I won't abuse you. Come and take the truth and enrich yourself. Here we are available as ocean. There is something beyond thoughts. There is something beyond emotions. There is something, the glimpses of great truths you experience like stars once in a while. There is something beyond the cloud, Raman effect, blue layer and stars. That which is beyond all these three is what I call you, consciousness. Indian spirituality is not cheating people. Worshipping Indian spiritual leaders is not something wrong. Because they never experienced that pure sky, they do not know how to transmit that experience to people. Because neither they experience nor they transmit, people don't worship them. Because they are not worshipped, they are jealous of people who are being worshipped. This is the psychology of the whole game, rut. Here I am very boldly declaring, I experienced something which is beyond the cloud and Raman effect and stars, thought, emotion and glimpses of truths. I have experienced something which is beyond all these three, and I can transmit that to you for you to experience it. Naturally, people who have the glimpse of it express their gratitude by the way of worshipping. So, I tell you guys, not only I can transmit to you, can teach you the method to transmit this to the world. Do it. People will worship you. Then you will not be jealous of me. For me to get rid of the problems created by you and you are jealous, the only way is I have to give you the experience and teach you how to transmit this experience to the world, so that you understand from where I am talking. Anyhow, at least let me share with our disciples. Today's lesson for you, contemplate, is there anything beyond body and mind, beyond thoughts? Do I really have a gap between my thoughts? Is there any gap between the thoughts? This is the question I want you to contemplate today, whole day. Today you don't need to fast, but I'll recommend taking neem juice. You can have your solid food, but just have neem juice. Tomorrow come back with this question. Whole day contemplate, is there really gap between thoughts? And come back tomorrow with this question. I'll give you the experience, not just answer, experience. So, I bless all of you who are sitting with us around the world at this moment in 555 places, in 228 cities, in 22 countries. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate and share the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you.